All right, we're going to get started. So I want you guys to do me a favor and help me welcome to the stage Jeremy Neves. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for waking up and coming this morning. I know it's a sacrifice and we're weak in numbers, but I promise you I will show up if there's just one person here. The same I'll show up if this room is packed. So who's enjoying D2DCON so far? Yeah. All right. Let's do one more how you enjoying D2DCON, and let's give it everything you've got so that these guys regret going across the hall and going to this room next to us, all right? So how are you guys enjoying D2DCON so far? Yeah! Woo! Yeah, even their presenters coming in here. They're closing the doors. They're closing the doors. Thank you. All right. Who's excited for Jordan Belfort later today? Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I'm excited to be here, and I got to say, mad props to Sam Taggart and his team for what they've put together. It's incredible the value that they've brought to the marketplace, and it takes vision and it takes guts for them to bring what they brought to this industry, and it's incredible to be a part of. Today, I'm speaking on creating winning relationships. And D2DCON is a perfect example of what a winning relationship looks like. It's true co-creation, okay? Sam didn't pay us to come and speak here, and these vendors that are here and everybody that's showing up here to share knowledge with their competitors so that we can all be better at what we do. That's a winning relationship, and there's some power in that, and I'm excited to talk about that with you today. So, African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's all about relationships. And I think as a salesperson, and in my personality, you might be able to relate to this, when you read this, you go, oh man, in order to go together, we've got to go slower. And I don't want to go slower, I want to go fast. I want to go 100%, I want to go all the way. But I can tell you maybe at the beginning, it's a little slower to include and be a part of a team. But in the long run, you're going to go much further, and you will go much faster because there's momentum that comes, okay? So my goal today is to inspire each of us to create more abundant relationships. More abundant in the quality of our relationships, and we're going to dive into what abundance means, and we're going to name that, and we're going to be experts of what that means and recognizing it, but more abundant relationships in quantity as well. The more abundant relationships we have, the more fulfilled our lives will be, and the more success we will have. There's a dichotomy here about winning and relationships. A solid relationship is a win in and of itself. If you agree with me, say yes. Yes. All right. But if you have a solid, powerful relationship, it leads to future wins. And we're going to show some examples of that today. So, how many of you have heard the saying, it's less about what you know and it's more about who you know? Yeah. When it comes to success, I believe that 100%. And in every business, it's about relationships. But I can tell you, this is a relationships business. Our business is relationships. If you agree with me, say yes. Yes. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to pause for 30 seconds, and I want you to look to your left or right and find somebody that you don't know in this room. I want you to introduce yourself to them. And I want you to tell them, first, hold on, let me give you instructions real quick. Tell them your name, tell them what you do, and tell them what you're hoping to get out of this today. 30 seconds, go ahead. Okay, 10 seconds. All right, go ahead and wrap it up. Get back to your seats. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Now, if you don't get anything out of what I share today, at least I'm responsible for connecting you with the baller sitting next to you. Who in here met somebody that they're like, man, this person's interesting? I think everyone has to raise their hand, otherwise it's awkward, right? Yeah, I set you up there. I think there was a couple, actually. So, have you ever gone into something or felt called to serve something or do something that came with a lot of uncertainty?
Yes.
Yeah? If everyone in here had their first kiss, right? Anyone married? There's some uncertainty there, right? And you came out on the other side, and how did it feel? How did it feel when you came out on the other side? I want to share with you, and I want you guys to relive an experience that I had that came with a ton of uncertainty. And you'll recognize the relationships that came in there, and the relationships and the power and the level of the relationship that it was able to get to because of the uncertainty. I believe that every good thing, every incredible thing that happens in our life has some sort of uncertainty, okay? So this is a picture of my beautiful wife. Yeah, cheer for that. Yeah. And we are at a charity event for a nonprofit called Operation Underground Railroad and Child Liberation Foundation. And this is something my wife and I are extremely passionate about. And the experience I want to share with you is an opportunity that I had to go undercover, do an undercover sting operation to rescue children from sex trafficking. These children have been taken from their homes, kidnapped, and are being sold for sex. And there's a lot of uncertainty about being a part of this. In order to do this, I had to go through training, fight to kill training, be able to have the mental ability in any situation of how to act, what to do, and then the physical ability to take care of a situation without having weapons, because we're going into other countries where we don't have jurisdiction and we can't carry weapons. Incredible opportunity to train in Krav Maga and do fight training as an adrenaline junkie. I got a lot of enjoyment out of that. And then the expectation is you got to be ready to go at any time. And imagine with me for a minute, you're at Disney World with your family. I'm with my wife, my son, my parents, big family vacation. It's go time. I get a call, it's time to go. Pack up and I leave and go to the other country. I land in this other country and I drive to the house that I'm meeting up with the other team members that are going undercover with me. I only know 2 of the 8. And as I drive in, I get to this house and I walk in the door of this house and there's like a bridge across this water. It's an open layout and you can see there's the living room, there's a big sliding glass door. You open that sliding glass door, there's an outdoor patio area, and then there's a pool behind that. Behind that, there's a pond, and behind the pond, there's a golf course. And on the golf course, there's these iguanas that are this big. And I'm like, man, what am I doing? This is incredible. And our next door neighbor has this as a pet. I'm like, what in the world is going on? This is wild, this is cool. I have no idea what's coming. And we spend time in this house and we strategize. We get to know each other and we have a common goal, we have a common mission. And we discuss the plans for the next day, for this operation, the roles that each of us are going to play. And we get to know each other on a deeper level. And that night, we go and we sit across the table at a bar late at night in a dark area of the world. And we are face to face with one of the traffickers, the head trafficker. And we're buddy-buddy. It's an 8-month operation. He walks in, we're hugging, we're high-fiving. And we sit there, and I remember just sitting there right across the table from him, looking him in the eyes, and I got the chills like, man, I just want to break this guy's neck. I couldn't just stand even looking at him. And he had to be in character. And we sat there and he showed us pictures of the girls that he was bringing to us the next day. And we're laughing, we're smiling, we're high-fiving. And all I could think was, man, I can't wait till tomorrow. Man, I hope you do something stupid. I hope I get to use my training. I just can't wait. Either way, these girls are getting out of here, and this is firing me up. Imagine the next day you're standing out on the street and taxi cab after taxi cab after taxi cab files in, and girl after girl after girl, child, 13 years old, 14 years old, pull up, 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 40, 48 girls walk into this house. And then the traffickers. And we spend an hour and a half in this house pretending to have a party, pretending to be tourists, looking to play the part. These girls have been taken from their homes, haven't seen their families. And I want you to imagine a 13-year-old. I don't know where a 13-year-old comes on you, but a 13-year-old comes to about here on me. A sister, a cousin, a daughter. You know somebody there. And I remember looking in the eyes of this 13-year-old, and she's terrified. And all I could say is, today is going to be a good day. And she's thinking, maybe for you, but not for me. I'm 6'3", 200 pounds. She's 13. She's left her family, and she knows what's about to happen. But I'm not saying what she thinks I'm saying. Today's going to be a good day. It's not going to be like the other days. We successfully escaped from the home. 70 federal agents rushed into the home, arrested the traffickers, rescued the girls. They were shocked. The doctors, the aftercare, they all came in, and the girls were rescued. They were safe. Yeah, thank you. These are my brothers. Lifelong friends, business partners, mentors. We met each other the day before. We put our lives in each other's hands. We trusted each other completely, and it was an incredible experience. And there was a ton of uncertainty. My favorite memory of all of this, and the most powerful thing I've yet to share, hop on a plane, I fly back to Disney World. I'm with my family, I'm standing in a long line, sweating my butt off, and I get a text message. And it says, from one of my teammates, brothers, happy Father's Day. It's pretty neat to think about all the reunions we helped create today. Those fathers that had their daughters returned. That's when it hit me. And that's when I came home with renewed desire to strengthen my relationships. With uncertainty, the reason uncertainty is hard is because we don't have control. And we don't have control, we have fear. I want to share this with you. Winning relationships come with uncertainty. Uncertainty comes from a lack of control. Lack of control forces you to trust in yourself and others. Trust empowers co-creation, which is a winning relationship. It's the highest level. Yeah?
Can you say that one more time for us?
Absolutely. Winning relationships come with uncertainty. Uncertainty comes from lack of control. Lack of control forces you to trust in yourself and others, and trust empowers co-creation, which is a winning relationship. Can you see the different aspects of a winning relationship in this story, in this example that I've shared with you? You recognize the way that you feel when you hear the story. How is that different from the way that you feel in other relationships? I'm going to dive into this, and I got to get going faster. I'm going to go through some strategy to make you more aware of the relationships that you're in and how you can go to the higher level of these relationships. There's levels, 1 through 7, and they also have a corresponding energy. A level would be like a relationship status. An energy would be the way that you show up maybe in an instant or a moment or a certain situation. Okay? And then I'm going to talk about abundance versus scarcity and recognizing the difference between an abundant relationship and a scarce relationship. So what is abundance and what is scarcity? Abundance means to overflow. Imagine a cup of water full and overflowing. There's more than enough. Scarcity is lack. It means there's never enough. There's never going to be enough. So I want you to imagine with me for a second that we're going for a stroll in the park, and play along here. We're going for a stroll in the park, and I take a deep breath in and a breath out. And you take a deep breath in and a breath out. We both need oxygen to survive. Yet, are either of us worried that there's not going to be enough for both of us? No, because air is abundant. Now imagine we're scuba diving together. We're 100 feet under the water, and my oxygen tank has a malfunction, and I signal to you that I need to use some of your oxygen. Now do we worry about there being enough air? Yeah, that's scarcity, okay? Our first, and I want to highlight, and I want this to be a thought that you have in your mind as we go through these different levels. I'm going to share what the level is. I'm going to share what that means. I'm going to share what that energy is. And I'm going to give examples of these that apply to us. But I want you to be thinking of your specific relationships. I want you to be thinking of your specific relationships. Are they a stroll in the park? Or are you underwater with a tank malfunction? Okay? First level is a we-lose relationship. A we-lose relationship is seeing all the ways things are happening to you. That's a victim energy, okay? It's a victim energy. Let me show you what that looks like. You seen a guy come into your office and come to you at the end of the day selling, and he comes in and he goes, you'll never believe what happened to me today. Every door I knocked, nobody answered. I didn't even have a chance to sell today. Nobody even answered. Oh my gosh, and I feel terrible. My body doesn't feel good. I could have used the day off. That's just a waste of a day. Come home, and you'll never believe it. On the way home, I got a speeding ticket. Gosh, everything just happens. What? That's a victim energy. And what does that do? That's destructive. It brings other people down. Sorry. Number 2 is you lose, I win. The win comes from somebody else losing. You need somebody else to lose in order for it to be a win for you. This energy looks a lot like this. It's insecure. I'm insecure. I don't believe enough in myself, and so I got to bring other people down. I got to make other people feel smaller. It's insecure. Maybe in our industry, this means you're not confident in what you have to offer at your company, and so instead of talking about all the reasons and benefits that people would get from working with you, you tell them all the reasons they shouldn't go work for somebody else. Or you plant seeds to make it a lose situation for the other company. Or maybe you do that in an area because somebody else is knocking behind you and you want to make the area worse for them. Your win comes from somebody else losing. It's a really negative energy. It's also very insecure, and everybody sees it. It's embarrassing when you realize that that's the energy you're coming from. The next level is I win, hopefully you win. I win, hopefully you win means I got to make sure that this is a win for me. I got to find the win for me, and if the other person wins, that's a bonus. That's a bonus. I'd love for them to get a win, but what's most important is I've got to get the win for me. There's got to be a win for me, okay? What's the energy of I win, hopefully you win? That's balls energy. And guess what? It takes balls to do door-to-door. You gotta have balls to do door-to-door. It's passion, it's commitment, it's confidence, it's drive. We need that. We absolutely have to have that exist in the door-to-door industry, right? We've gotta have that. But the energy of, I gotta have as much as I can, I gotta take as much as I possibly can, doesn't feel good. And what's the truth about our industry, guys? What is the truth about our industry? I believe this is the average energy. Who believes that this is the average energy with me? Okay? And I want to respect the fact that some of you probably don't believe this is the average energy, but who believes that this exists in our industry and that it needs to not be in our industry? And our industry would be better if this was gone. Okay. So let's talk about that. What are some examples of I win, hopefully you win in our industry? Have you ever had a recruiting bonus that's been given to you that says, you go out, you bring somebody onto the team, you get $1,000 because you brought this guy onto the team. And you go and you do that, and if you're the recipient of that, you maybe don't even know that he got $1,000, but if you're on the other side of it, you've seen it. If you haven't been a part of it, you've seen it and you understand it. And then what happens once the guy signs and he gets his $1,000? Nothing. You don't help him anymore. You don't spend time with him. You're not training him. You're not doing those things. We've seen that in the industry. What's an I win, hopefully you win with a customer? What's an example of an I win, hopefully you win with a customer? You make sure you're getting your commission. You make sure you get the sell at any cost. And maybe it's not a good deal for the customer. Maybe they didn't need it. Maybe it's actually not exactly how you explained it. What happens, what are the consequences when we show up from this energy? Eventually, somebody doesn't win. And when somebody doesn't win, we get a bad brand. And it's not just your personal brand, it's your company brand. And it's not just your company brand, it's the door-to-door brand. It's affecting everyone in this room. Have you ever been to an area where that market perceives door-to-door as parasitic? Yeah. How does that feel?
It sucks.
Yeah. How's your confidence when you come in and they feel that way? Do you start to feel like, man, am I a crappy salesman? Am I a shady person? Do I belong here? It sucks. It takes your energy away. We got to get rid of this from our industry. And it's not going to take much. It's a very simple mindset. Let me show you. The next level is a you win, I serve. You win, I serve. This is, I'll work for you, I work for you, I'll take care of all of your problems. This is charity. This is contribution. This is service. But it's also sacrifice. There's still a little bit of scarcity in here. There's not enough for you to win, only one person to win. The energy of you win, I serve is the heart energy. The heart energy. That's love, that's compassion, that's caring, that's wanting to make a difference, that's fulfillment, okay? It's important, it's honorable, but have you ever showed up that way as a manager and said, okay, this guy's struggling, I'm gonna go knock with him. And then next week when he's struggling again, he wants you to come knock again, and you keep going, and you keep giving him deals, and guess what you're doing? You're enabling him. You're giving the man a fish. It's an honorable thing to do, and it feels good, but is it long-lasting? Can you do it forever? You can't do it forever. So what's the goal? What's that small little transition that we need to make in order to get where we need to be in this industry? Our minimum energy needs to be win-win. Win-win or no deal. Say it with me. Win-win or no deal. That has to be the desire. That has to be the goal. That has to be what we're shooting for. A win-win is I value myself enough and the value that I bring that it has to be a win for me. And I know in order for this to actually last, it has to be a win for them as well. It has to be a win for them as well, okay? What's the energy of a win-win? That's heart and balls together. How do our guys respond when we show up with heart? We just went through that. We feel that. We understand that. But there's got to be the balls energy as well. You got to be confident. You got to see the value that you bring as well. Win-win or no deal. This is good stuff. Yeah? Follow me? Okay. Level 6 is a we win. A we win is not two sides winning. So it's not like this. A win-win is two different sides getting their win. A we win is there's one side. It's we win together. If win-win is I work for you and you work for me, then we win is we work for the team. Okay? When the win-win is no longer, what happens, it's another level of loyalty. The energy is loyalty. It's unity. It's teamwork. Okay? Imagine somebody else gets a better win somewhere else. It's a win-win situation. I'm committed to the win-win. But I get a better win somewhere else. I'm committed to the win-win somewhere else. I'm not as committed. But a we win is I'm committed to us. I'm committed to us. That has to be the minimum energy in a marriage, right?
That's all I was going to say.
Perfect example, right? That has to be the minimum energy in a marriage. It's got to be about us. Because I'm not seeing some other girl walk down the street and going, oh, that might be a better win for me. I'm more committed to that now. That doesn't work, right? Okay, we win. And the highest level and the goal, the objective, the potential of what we could be at is winning. Winning is co-creation. Co-creation, this is finding ways to make every situation a win. Making every situation a win. Life happens for you, not to you. Ed Milet. Life happens for you, not to you. We lose all the ways things are happening to you. Co-creation, finding all the ways life happens for you, not to you. Finding the win in every situation. Finding the gift. Everything is happening for a reason, and it's helping you. It's to help you. Okay. The energy of and I would explain this if win-win is I work for you, you work for me, and we win is we work for the team. Winning is my needs are your needs are my needs. Write that down. My needs are your needs are my needs. Okay? The energy of winning and co-creation is trust. Trust. Is there uncertainty? Yeah. Can you go fast with co-creation? Absolutely you can go fast. Because you start and you trust other people. Think back to the example that I shared with you. Landing into this other country, meeting 6 other people, putting our lives in each other's hands to go into a sketchy situation with members of the cartel in the middle of the night. We had to trust each other. And we had to allow each other to do separate roles. We couldn't all do everything. We had to trust each other to take on certain roles and to play that role and know that the other person's going to figure it out. And not have all the details, not have all the answers. There's uncertainty. But there's trust and there's speed that comes from that. And the relationship and the energy and the experience is much higher. You with me? You follow me on this? Okay. That's winning. That's co-creation. So, where's abundance? Abundance is above the line. Win-win or no deal. You could argue there's a little bit of abundance in you win, I serve, but there's still some scarcity because you believe that there's not enough for you to have a win as well. That's not the higher level of leadership. I hope as we went through this, you were thinking of different relationships. And you were honest with yourself of the times that you showed up as a we lose, because we've all done it. And we've also all shown up as the you lose, I win. And every level, we've been there. And in every relationship that you're in right now, you're probably showing up in some of those ways. And if you think about the most important relationships, how are you showing up? Are you reflecting back on the ones that are good, like the one that I shared with you? Your favorite memories? Take evidence from those relationships and go, what worked? Where was I? What am I not doing today? So we're at a I win, hopefully you win. That's our average energy in the industry today. If it's not the average energy that we're at today, it still exists and we need to eradicate it. We need to come from a win-win or no deal. And what does that change for our industry if we come from a win-win or no deal? It doesn't just keep growing, it thrives. We are a lot more fulfilled, we are a lot more connected. And guess what? This room is full next year if we're coming from a win-win or no deal. The main stage, it wasn't completely full. That will be full and overflowing if we come from win-win or no deal. And they're going to continue to show us what co-creation looks like, because that's what D2DCON is, co-creation. So I want you to take a second. I want everyone to get involved here. Write down one important relationship in your business that you feel could be better. And I want to take business out of there, because guys, this is about life, and let's be honest. My friend right here on the right, what was your name? Justin. I was recruiting people to come in here this morning because we were slight on numbers, and I appreciate all of you that did come in. Justin, he was a tough sell, and he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, relationships. And he said, relationships? What kind of relationships? And I was like, all kinds of relationships. He goes, are you talking about marriage? And I said, absolutely, I'm talking about marriage. And I knew that I had a lot on business. And he said, that's the most important relationship for me right now. I got to figure out my marriage relationship. And I said, dude, thank you. Thank you. You get it. Because if you can get that right, that's the one that matters the most, right? Who's married in here? Who understands that marriage is hard? Yeah, it's a tough relationship, but is it the most fulfilling relationship? And I think Justin gave us that opportunity. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on the relationship that matters most. Find one in your one relationship. I know what Justin's is going to be that you feel could be better. Write that down. Okay? Now I want you to ask yourself and be honest with yourself, what is the highest potential level for this specific relationship? What is the highest potential level for this relationship? So I'm going to come back here. That's weird that it goes through this whole thing. So where is it today? One that you feel could be better, so you know where it's at. And what's the highest potential? Maybe the highest potential isn't winning. If you're talking about a relationship with, if you're talking about a relationship with somebody in your business, maybe you don't see that actually getting to that level. Maybe you see some barrier. What is the highest potential level for that relationship? Get through this. So write that down. Where are you at today? One that you want to improve, and what is the highest potential for this relationship? Now I want you to write down, if this relationship were to reach its full potential, how would that impact your 2019? If this relationship were to reach its full potential, its highest potential, how would that impact your 2019? I'm going to pause for a minute and give you a second to write this down. Think about the way that it would change the way you show up, the way that you feel, the way that you go about your day. What kind of an impact would it make on that other person? Who else would it affect? Who else would it affect? Is it important to you? It's an important relationship. The impact could be great. So now that we've discussed that, and this is a model that I want you to use as we go through, we've become aware, become more conscious leaders, understanding there's got to be an I element. I've got to have a win. There's got to be a you element. You've got to win. And the higher level is a we. We've got to win. You've got the framework to become aware of what kind of relationship you're in and where it needs to change and what those energies look like. So now that you have this and you can see what the potential is, what do? That's not a rhetorical question this time. What do you do? Make changes. How? Yeah. I'm going to walk into this person and I'm going to share with them what I learned. I'm going to share with them what I wrote down today. That it's an important relationship to me and that they're important to me, and this is where I see we're at today. We're at this level, and the potential is for us to be here. And I'm going to get them on board with that. I'm going to show them why I see that. And they're going to feel amazing, and they're going to be like, who are you? Really? Wow. Okay, and here's all the ways that I've noticed as to why we're here based off of what I've done. Because that's what you're going to realize is that you have the biggest control over this. You might be thinking of what they're doing, and that's why you're there. But if you were coming from a level 7, you're not going to be at this level because they're going to recognize it and they're going to want to come to that level. So you can control you. So yeah, communicate. Anything else? Take action. Commit. Maybe that relationship was customers. Maybe that relationship was with your customers you feel could be better. And maybe you're not going to go and communicate to them, hey, just so you know, I haven't been showing up this way with your neighbors, but you maybe don't have that communication there, but you take action. Maybe you communicate that with somebody else that can hold you accountable, and you take action. And you reflect back on this. Schedule a time that you're going to look at your levels, and you're going to grade yourself, and then you're going to take action and continually take action to improve your relationships. Okay, just to recap, these are the energies. Go ahead and take a picture of this slide. I want everyone to have the levels. And honestly, I'll send all these out to all of you. So what are the energies? We lose. That's victim. That's scarcity. That's maximum scarcity. You lose, I win. That's insecure. It's destructive. You want to bring somebody else down in order for you to feel better. I win, hopefully you win. Drive, confidence, power. That's the balls energy. We got to have it. But we can't just be right there. There's more. You and I serve. Compassion, love, fulfillment. That's the heart energy. How is it different when we show up with heart? How do people respond differently when we show up with heart? We've all felt it. We all felt it earlier when we talked about these young girls that were in a terrible situation. Went in from an energy of you and I serve. And this is an important point. You can start at a you and I serve. And maybe that's where the relationship needs to start. Maybe there's not enough trust there. Maybe the other person is in a certain situation and you realize, I've got to serve them first in order for us to get to a higher level. But what you need to do is you need to come into that relationship and make sure that everybody knows this is a you and I serve today. But the potential is a win-win. And I'm not going to settle for anything less than a win-win. And within this amount of time, this is where it's got to go. And you're coming from a place of heart, they're going to go, okay, I feel that. And if you show up with heart along the way and you don't fall below you and I serve, it will get to the potential. Win-win, power, compassion, confidence. It's everything of balls and heart energy. We win, minimum energy for a marriage. Unity, loyalty, commitment. And dare I say, in this industry, if we had more of a we win, we wouldn't be jumping from company to company, and we would figure out how to build those relationships, and we would have much longer term success.
Amen.
Amen. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Yeah. Make sure that the rest of the company is on this higher level of consciousness and leadership as well. But we win. You'll go much further if you stick it out and you commit to people, and they'll want to commit to you. Money always finds value. You bring that value, you're going to get the money. You don't need to jump somewhere else to get a quick buck. And the highest level and the goal, what we're all aspiring for is winning, co-creation. And luckily we have D2DCON that's showing us what that looks like. And props to all of you for embracing it and showing up. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I saw them raise their hands, how many of you are here from out of state in that opening meeting? And everybody do that. How many of you here from out of state? Raise your hand. Look around. How many of you here from Utah? Okay, so 70-30. Props to you guys. And this is the mecca of door to door. Where is everybody? Props to you for embracing co-creation. You're making a difference on the industry just by being here. I'm not going to have time to go through this today, but I want you guys to do this exercise. I want you to ask yourself, what is the average energy you show up with? And what is the average energy they show up with in these relationships? With your customers, what's the average energy? We've got the energies right here. We've got the levels right there. Sometimes you show up as a we lose because you just got off a bad door and you bring and it's destructive and you're a victim. Maybe sometimes you're showing up as a win-win. Average that out. What's the average energy you're showing up with? What's the average energy the other people are showing up with? Grade yourself. This will make you conscious and aware of where you can improve and where you can make a difference, where you can inspire other people. And I want your focus to be mainly on you, but I do want you to become aware of where other people are so that you can lead them or that they can lead you. Direct leader and with your company. If you're a rep, who's your manager? Your manager, your regional, your VP, the owners. And then your relationship with the company. How are you showing up with the company? Is it a I win, hopefully you win? Hey, my previous performance was this, so I expect you to pay me that. What happens when you don't do what you did before? You win, but the other person, the company, does not. Okay? What's the average energy you're showing up with and they're showing up with? And once you have that, you now have a course of action to go forward with. Okay, in conclusion, and we'll jump in, we'll have a couple minutes for questions about this and Q&A. Become a conscious leader. There's got to be an I element. There's got to be a you element. And the higher level of a conscious leader is we. If you want it to last, it's got to be a we. Number 2, reflect on past wins. We are driven individuals who go and accomplish. We are accomplishers. We are doers. And what happens is sometimes we run, we get to that goal, and we get there, and we stop for just a second, and we run to the next one. And we hit all these bumps along the way, and we get smacked in the face. Do we stop and celebrate? And more importantly, do we look back and go, man, look what I accomplished in 2018. Look at the wins. Look at what I did well. Look at the relationships that I have today that are super strong. What is it about those relationships? What is it about those relationships? That'll help you feel that energy and go and duplicate that. And then number 3, become more abundant. It's become a buzzword nowadays. Abundance and scarcity, abundance and scarcity. There will always be enough. And guess what? We both need it to survive. Think about the air. We gotta have it. We all need to make money. We all need fulfillment. We all need growth. We're all searching for the same things. We all need those. They're basic human needs in this room. But there's more than enough. There's enough first-year reps. There's enough managers. There's enough leaders. There's enough growth. There's enough development. There's enough doors. There's enough products. There's enough. Be abundant. It'll come back. It's a better energy. You'll feel it. It'll make a difference. I just want to wrap by saying thank you for having the courage to do door-to-door. Thank you for having the courage to be here and to be a part of this. Please take this message and apply it into your life. And you know when you've made a decision? You've made a decision when you act immediately. So act immediately. What's that relationship that you wrote down earlier that can be better? Have that conversation today. You guys commit to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you. And how much time do I have? Thank you. I don't know, cameraman, do you know, you got my time? We got like 2 minutes, are we done? 2 minutes. 2 minutes, any questions? All right, cool, let's go. Just kidding. Yeah, if you don't want to ask questions, I understand. If I do like people to ask questions though. Anything?
You just explained it too dang good.
What's up?
You explained it too well.
Good, good, apply. Yeah, it's good. It's great stuff. Yeah.
How would you recommend taking a relationship from you win, I serve, when that has been like 90% of how you work with people to where it's more of a win?
Yeah, you're a mom, aren't you? And a wife. Yeah, it's just your nature. It's who you are, and it's your identity. And I think what's important is for you to realize what is it that's important to you? What is it that you need that you're not getting? Right? And you've probably recognized that, and at times you've probably shared it, and then it wasn't received well. And I think, I'm an example of that as well. My wife is the same way. I think it's important for you to realize what you're missing and how they're not winning from you not getting what you want. You need to understand that compassion and love and heart energy that you have is like, give them the opportunity to have that as well. Give them the opportunity to have that. And I think it's just having that communication and understanding of, here's where I want to go, here's where I see the potential of us going, but here's what's missing, and here's what I believe I need to do differently in order to show up that way. And if you share with them, here's my needs, this is what I need, I believe that you're going to feel that power and energy, and they're going to help you get there. But it's that energy. You've got to have that energy and the desire of, I value myself enough that it's got to be a win for me. Does that help? Yeah. Here and then these two.
First of all, thank you for bringing heart to this event.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of balls, and I really appreciate the heart, so that's really great.
Thank you.
So in seeing this and analyzing it, I feel like I'm part of an organization that almost throughout ranges from like that lowest level of, defeated, I don't have it in front of me right now, to the company and the customer lose at the expense of my winning.
Yeah.
So I feel driven to separate myself, but in so doing, I feel like that's an I win, you guys lose. Like, screw you guys. So where's the balance there between, how do I find a higher level to compromise with those two?
Where did you say that you feel the company's coming from?
A place of like the customer and each other loses, everyone loses, or at the lowest level, like we all
lose.
suck and we hate
Yeah.
this.
So here's the thing, abundance, right? There's more than enough. And I think you need to understand, like, there's more than enough good ideas, there's more than enough good energy. Bring that energy into the relationship. Who is the person you need to share that with that can make the biggest influence in your organization, right? And I think you need to share with them, look, I feel like this is where we are today. Here's the reasons why I feel that. Here's where I want it to be. Here's my minimum expectation of where this is going to be. Are you on board with that? Do you believe in this vision? And if they're not, you've got to have the balls to say, no deal. No deal. I'm not trying to tell you to leave your company, but you've got to come from that, and you've got to have that conversation first. If you don't have that conversation first and give them the opportunity to see and understand where it could be better, then you can't just come in with balls. Balls will be coming in and going, hey, look, you guys are here. I learned this from Jeremy, this guy that I don't know, and I'm out. Yeah, and then I'm going to talk bad about you guys, right? That's not how you want to show up. I think we're out of time. But you two, let's
I was going to say the
talk.
same thing. Like, you can try to bring relationships to a certain level, but
Yeah.
if they're not willing to come with you, it's like you can't bring every relationship to the level you want, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
you gotta just.
You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. All right. Thank you, guys.